Here we go. I think I'm live. Da-da. Are we live? It looks alive. Hey, everybody. Da-da-da-da. It is Labor Day here in the United States of America, which means I labor. Traditional holiday here in the United States. And answer was told that we hear you well. Thank you, Bob Noob. See, Scott? See, Dave? All you have to do is say, we hear you, and then I'm so much happier. Okay. Anyway, everybody, hello. My name is Mike Meyers, and this is the Mike Meyers Ask Mike Anything live stream. The goal of this live stream is to provide those of us who are isolated by the coronavirus an opportunity to continue our studies on our IT certification path. We concentrate primarily on the CompTIA A+, Net+, and Security+, but we can certainly go outside of that, not only into other CompTIA certifications, other certifications as well, and just as good old tech while we're at it. Da-da-da-da. Increase volume. We can do that. Can you hear me meow? I'm always afraid to turn these too hard. Check one. That looks better, doesn't it? All right. Da-da-da. Best and fair price. Dude, stop being creepy. There we go. So whoever the dude is who's being creepy, stop it immediately. Let me see. Problem is there's like 80 ways to turn up the volume on these things, and it's always terrifying. I'm going to press the wrong button. Something's going to explode. Okay, let's try that. I think that's... let's try that. I can't keep my head up to the mic that close. Let's try this. All right, here we go. All right, so anyway, guys, my friends threw me a nice little birthday party on Saturday, quasi-surprise, very much appreciated. The downside was I completely dismantled the studio, so to make space, and I had to put it together today, and it was an exciting thing. It was one of these where I was like, well, I'll just shoot a video of where everything lies, and then it shouldn't be any problem, right? Well, make sure the video works, kids, because mine didn't. So we got it there. Michael Smyer gave me a little bit of a help. And we are in good shape. And other than the volume being too low, I think we're all right. All right. Now, do keep in mind, the goal of this live stream is that you ask me questions and I answer them. We start here at 2 o'clock Central Daylight Time, and we will run till 3 o'clock Central Daylight Time until the questions run out. If we get a lot of questions, I can run past 3. So it's really up to you guys. I am here to help y'all, and that is my job, and I'm glad to do it. Yeah, so I'm 60 years old now. How crazy is that? So, 60. I mean, like inside, I feel like I'm maybe 31, 32. Then I have to try to get out of bed. Then I suddenly feel 70, 75. You start getting interesting things in the mail. AARP, the American Associations of Retired Persons, and the crazy ads I get on my phones now because they've got me zeroed in as that senior kind of person. I mean, can I even call myself middle-aged at 60? I don't think I can. I'm past that, man. See, now if I live to be 110, y'all are going to be like, well, technically it would have been middle-aged. Let's see what we got going here. We've got Andrew Hutz is going to get my wireless deauth watch and anti-deauthing device. Andrew, watch your mail there, buddy. As a matter of fact, Andrew, why don't you be sure to send me your postage address offline. Please do not do it here on YouTube because you only know what these folks will send you. And I will get those out to you, man. So we're looking forward to getting some good feedback from Andrew on that one. So that should be fun. Women over 50 are waiting to hear from me. Yeah, that's true. More than you know. Okay, what else do we have here? Andrew Broccoli and Arnold Broccoli. That's a new name. Hey, Arnold, nice to meet you. Yeah, anybody, if anything that's running slow in terms of getting prizes from previous, I hope just last week are the only people who are still dragging, feel free to just ask Kathy Y. Kathy Y at TotalSim.com. KATHYY at TotalSim.com. Never have a problem. If Kathy gets a little overwhelmed sometimes And it's never a big problem just to send her another email and say, hey, man, you owe me some cool stuff. So we are always glad to do that for you anytime you want. Edgy here. Volume is a bit low, Mike. Is it still low? I think I turned it way up. Hopefully we're in much better shape now. I'm actually pegging. I'm pegging the meters, so I can't turn it up anymore. Amiga, you're going to have to deal it on your side. Brendan Claspill. Nice to meet you. You're great. Thank you, Brendan. Appreciate that. AVI Nut. Hello. And Crazy Homebody Girl. Man, we got all the cool kids are here. So I think we got, so again, seriously, guys, you need to ask me questions. I am here to help you. And we'll also be giving away practice questions today. So let's get some questions in, and we'll go from there. Okay. Kathy is on the road for another week. She's in Boston to welcome another grandchild. Mazel tov. Okay. And I am never more than 6 inches away from this microphone. All right. Don't worry, guys. Got some background stuff. All the guys are trying to help me sound good for you all. No. Random weird laptop question. Why are they now making newer models with the speakers down on the bottom? Your mic now, good now, love. Okay, babe. I have 20-year-old laptops with speakers on the bottom. I don't think that's terribly uncommon at all. We would need someone like Michael Smyer to talk. I've seen the laptops you're talking about, and they're like on little tiny feet. And there's something about the way these speakers that shoot down are supposed to reflect off the table or whatever you're sitting on to sound good. Like use a hard surface. You know, when you play with these in bed, and you just got them on a blanket, they tend to be a little muffled. I've seen that 20 years ago. Siegfried Vanderwee sneaking in. David Mohan. What is the difference between a password and a passphrase? Exactly as it described, David. A password is actually a single word. Like, for example, my super secret password I use on almost everything is, you didn't really think I'd do that for you, did you? David was like, oh, come on, Meyers, almost had you. So a password and a passphrase is just, there's been an argument for a long time that what makes a good password is length, not complexity. And so for certain things, I have very long passwords, and they, do they help? I haven't been hacked, so I guess I'm doing the right thing. But anyway, that's the only difference. A password is a word, a passphrase is a phrase. Xerxix passed Network Plus with 744. Congratulations. Well done. That is good stuff. All right. When you see me turn my head like this, I'm just looking for questions seem to be popping up. Patricia Grace, everybody's here today. I am heading out, so on my phone. Okay, babe, we'll see you later. Somali. Timmy, 123, closer than you might know in certain places. There's a passphrase. My cat eats too much. David Mohan. I thought passphrase was associated with SSH keys. Not within my experience, David. So if they are, I'm not saying they aren't. I'm not aware of that. So I'll trust you on that. Oh, Malibu 8800 is now I need a pop filter. Okay. Let's try this. Let's try this. How's that sound, guys? I'm going to stay just like this. I didn't notice the popping until you guys had it there. Yeah, no, what had happened here is I had this all dismantled and I put it all back together because, how hard is this? And so I put it all back together. I didn't even touch any of the knobs or anything. What are you going to do? All right. So anyway, we got since it's a little slow on questions, no big deal. Getting the crowd starting to back in. Let's go ahead and do let's do a competition right now. You guys ready? Now here's how the competitions work. Number one, in the chat window, make sure you're not on top chat. Hit the pull down and make sure that you're on live chat. That's going to be really important because it's going to be the first person who answers kind of thing wins. So let's make sure we got it. Sorry. Oh, Malibu 8800. I'll be careful with my P's and my Q's. Somali, how does PXE function? Man, now there's one I haven't heard for a while. The actual process steps for PXE, I apologize. It has been a long, long time since I've done it. I can give you a quick overview, though. I mean, the idea behind PXE is that instead of booting from a mass storage device that's locally on your device, you're booting to a mass storage device that's on a server someplace. So you have to have a machine, usually a desktop or a laptop, that is PXE capable. And you go into your system setup to verify that it's PXE capable. If it is, you say, set it up for PXE booting. Boom, that's it. And then on the server side, you have to set up a PXE capable server. And there can only be one PXE capable server on a local area network. The only place I've seen PXE done a lot is with good old Norton's Ghost. When we do a lot of imaging, there was a PXE function in there. But other than that, I don't really see it that much anymore. I don't know exactly, what are the individual steps to get that to work, but it's an interesting question. But what I've just said is more than anything you're going to need to learn on PXE. All right. You guys are talking about sound. Chuck Japley. I answered a question that man was larger than WAN. Isn't Houston Metro many WANs? Okay. So you got to be careful here because there's not a whole lot of questions on this. LAN versus WAN versus man versus PAN versus CAN. What I will tell you is that a wide area network technically does not have a geographical area associated with it. So if you have two LANs, two local area networks, and you interconnect them with a router, you have now made a WAN. So if you've got routers, you have a WAN. A LAN must have its own single broadcast domain. Now, it can have segmented broadcast domains. Like you can use VLANs on it and still be a LAN. But a MAN does have a geographical aspect to it. MAN, M stands for metropolitan. So whenever you see M as in man, you're going to think like a town or a city or something like that. Oh, and Malibu 8800 passed the CompTIA 1001. Well done. Congratulations. Well done. Check one. I'm still not happy with this sound. It's this microphone. That's it. I'm going to blame the microphone. Okay, so let's do a quick competition. Scott says, turn the mic sideways and the popping will go away. All right, well, let's see how that works. I don't feel like my levels are high enough. You get playing with stuff. It's always fun. All right, let's do a competition. Here's the rules on the competition. There are no rules. Anybody can play. Yes, David Mohan, even you can play. We got a small crowd today, so we're going to even let the ringers in. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to do a Security Plus question. All right? Now, it's going to be a multiple choice question, folks. So the first one who answer wins. Don't type in A, B, C, or D. You're going to have to actually type out the word of whatever it is and then type in enough that I know what you're talking about. So this is going to be Security Plus. I like this question because this is one of these interesting questions where they assume an operating system and don't tell you which one they're talking about. Very typical type of question you'd see on the Security Plus. Let's hit this question. All right, so which type of log would list failed logon attempts? Now, once you look at this, you see it says event log, application log, security log. I mean, if you know your logs at all, that's pretty obviously a Windows. Then you'd have to know which one that could be. So, oh goodness, is it? I think it's a security log in Windows. So, oh, I said it too fast. Okay, we have a bunch of people who typed it, so we're good. Sorry about that, kids. I said it too fast. D is correct, security log. Okay. I don't think there is an access log in Windows. I think that's a syslog kind of thing. Event and application are also log types that you'll see in Windows, but the answer is security log. So who's the winner? Why, it is going to be... I'm going to hand it to Bob Noob. Bob, do you actually want to keep that prize? I know you've won a few. So let's see who wants this one. Event Viewer for the win. I love Event Viewer. It surprises me how few Windows people deal. Event Viewer is wonderful, man. It tells me all kinds of things. All right, so we're going to go ahead and give it to Bob Noob. He's going to put that on top of one he's already got. So, Bob Noob, congratulations to you. You are the winner. Hang on, let me get this up. I didn't have it up. One moment, please. There we go. Okay, there you go, Bob Noob. In order to claim your prize, Bob, you know the game. Send an email to Kathy Y. That's Kathy with a K, K-A-T-H-Y-Y, at total7.com. Be sure to add your YouTube name and which practice exam you wish to have. So, and you get 90 days of really any A+, Net Plus, or Security Plus. Anyone you would like. And congratulations to you. All right. Whatever, pass. Oh, no, Bob Noob, you passed? Okay. You know what? I'm going to make Bob Noob give it away. So if you want Bob Noob's prize that he just won, in the live chat, I need you to write out, what should we write out? What is the Japanese 575? What's that called? The poems? I've gone blank. So Bob Noob gets to pick whoever wins his prize. And other than financial paybacks, poetry, and anything like that, or persuasive argumentation, Bob, it's completely up to you. At some point, Bob, you're going to let us know who the winner is, and you'll put it right there in the live chat, and then Scott will let me know, and then there we go. Haiku. Thank you, Xerxes. I went blank. Haiku, of course. Okay, look, we got about 5 or 6 new people on here, man. This is where you got to do this. See, so new people, send chat messages to Bob Noob and tell him why you deserve to get that prize. And if you do it as a haiku, that's even better. It was security log, Siegfried. Security log. Here, I can show it to you again in case you missed it. D is correct. Security log. All right. Chuck Japley. Is Active Directory just a list of domains that a host service holds? It seems huge. Well, Siegfried, if Bob Noob, remember the number one thing about competitions online, they are not fair. Which means if I make a mistake, whoever I call the winner is the beneficiary of my mistake. So Siegfried, if I've made a faux pas, so it is, I have made it. Bob Noob's the winner, and now everybody's going to have to send him a text message via the live chat to try to talk him into, because Bob Noob doesn't want it, and he's passed, so somebody else is going to have to get it, and Bob will let us know who that winner is. Anyway, back to Active Directory. So Active Directory makes more sense if you actually go back to the predecessor of Active Directory. So back in the old Windows NT days, what you had was a single sign-on function, but that single sign-on function pretty much just accessed a database, a encrypted database on the Windows server. And in that database was a list of usernames and passwords. So, gosh, when did Active Directory come out? I'm going momentarily blank. It's been a while. So when Active Directory came out, it improved on the concept of the Windows domain. And instead, the Active Directory is an LDAP, lightweight, what does LDAP stand for? Who cares? Is an LDAP accessible database, which is stored primarily on individual configured Windows servers called domain controllers, although they don't have to. There's actually a lot of flexibility here. And the Active Directory is this big database of all that is the network. So it takes the concept of just usernames and passwords and makes it a lot bigger than this. Now, Active Directory has been around for 20 some odd years now. But with Active Directory, instead of just having a list of usernames and passwords, you can have a list of all the computers. You can have a list of all the sites. So instead of just having totalseminars.com, you can have houston.totalsem.com and dallas.totalsem.com. So it works beautifully with DNS. And but it is a database. It has a specific schema, which is like, what values are put where. It can be distributed, especially if you have things like sites where you have far-flung locations. So let's say you have an office in Dallas and an office in Houston. Typically what you'll do when you're setting up Active Directory is you'll configure domain controllers on both of those locations to handle local logins, but then the individual sites can be configured, and you can actually throttle how much data goes between Dallas and Houston. Back in the old days, that was important. Today, you can actually interconnect Active Directory domains using VPNs. You absolutely can do it. Lightweight Directory Access Protocol. This is so Xerxes is trying to give me new ways to give away stuff. Yeah, the problem is now is that I'm too lazy to sort through all you guys, because if I do it again, we'll do it Dave Mohan, and Dave Mohan will pass. So you know what? I'm going to count on the good graces and friendliness of my friend Bob Noob to sort it out, and we'll find somebody for you. Oh, Bob really is going to pick a number between 1 and 20. All right, new people, this is your opportunity to get, $80 prize for nothing. Give them a number. Sifodius? There you go. Come on, new folks. This is your opportunity. Go for it. Grab them. All right. We're going to do another question here in just a moment, but I'm going to wait and let Bob Noob figure out who is going to win that prize. I'm having fun. Bob Noob, I'm having fun watching you, buddy. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to bring all my IoT devices back online. I've got a ton of them, and I had them turned off because I'm still a little paranoid about telemetry, but I'm becoming, at least with Google, they seem to be the least evil of all of them out there. And there is a convenience to bringing that back all online. So probably not this week, but next week, we might have a tour of me lighting up all my IoT devices. In particular, I have a WPA3 compatible mesh network, Eero network, wireless mesh network. that I've had it now for over a year, and I run it. I treat it like an old school WAP. And there's actually more to mesh than that, and I need to give it a more fair shake than what I've done. Equally, because I'm a Google guy, I have obviously Nest thermostats. Who doesn't? I have cameras. I have light bulbs, but what a pain in the rear end. I've discovered that's, lying in bed going, okay, Google, turn off the bedroom lights. You know what? I just go like this, click, and then it's done. So I'll probably play with a few light bulbs again just because it's fun. Garage door opener. Did I mention that already? Anyway, so I'm looking to get that all plugged back in and up and running. And I think it'll be pretty cool. Add a few more toys. So we have a winner, AVI Nut. Bob Noob, thank you for playing MC for me there, buddy. So AVI Nut, in order to collect your prize, you have to send an email. AVI Nut, I'm talking to you. You have to send an email to Kathy Y. That's Kathy with a K, KATHYY, at totalsem.com. You have to put your YouTube name in here. So you have to type in AVI Nut in the email so Kathy knows it's you. And then let her know which practice exam you'd wish to have. And you've got it. How easy is that, huh? Yeah, we have small groups. We only have 30 people in here today. It's a slow day. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. I have seen A+ objectives. That's all I'm going to say on that. I have seen A+ objectives. There's no announcements from CompTIA or anything, and I have to let them announce it first. But and this is proper timing that we would anticipate seeing new A+ in early 2022. So me and Scott and the guys were having fun. And, of course, we're all under non-disclosure agreements, guys, so we absolutely cannot tell you anything we read, but we can tell you we've seen them. That's pretty exciting, huh? Considering we literally finished Network Plus, or at least the first rights for the Network Plus book last week. We also finished shooting the videos. So the Network Plus videos are going to be coming out here in just a few more weeks, which is exciting. First to market's very helpful in our industry. And we just finished Security Plus. Was that the beginning of this year? So of the total seminars, our holy trinity of A+, Net Plus, and Security Plus, we're probably going to be looking to grab something new title-wise. Tolowit, does Mike's audio interface have a line versus mic input? He may have plugged it in the wrong one. No, I got it right. Chuck Japley, I can't get my head around the difference between RAID 6 and RAID 10, both 4 drives. Sure, well, let's talk about that. Hold on. I still get RAID 10 and RAID 0+1 confused. So okay, here's even me having to double check. Just a second. So what I'm looking up is RAID 10 a stripe of mirrors or a mirror of stripes? And I'm having trouble because I can never remember these things. So I'm panic-stricken searching on the internet right now to find the answer. RAID 10. RAID 10 is a stripe of mirrors. Okay, stripe of mirrors. Okay, so that's important, guys. So let's talk about, first of all, what RAID 6 is. I don't know. Maybe we should talk about what RAID 10 is first. I'm stealing an image here. I want to. Oh, it's not very big. Okay, so I'm going to steal somebody else's image here. Bear with me just a minute, guys. Okay, let's take a look at this together real quick. All right, so what we got here is a RAID 10. So remember, RAID 0 is a mirror, and RAID 1 is stripes, okay? So with RAID 10, we have stripes of mirrors. So let's say we have one file, okay? And this file is a Word document. So what's going to happen here is, like, the first stripe is going to go over to this side, and it's then going to be mirrored, so we'll make two copies of that one. And then the next stripe comes over here, and it's going to be, it's then mirrored on this side. So I want you to take a very close look at this. We could lose this entire disk here, and we could lose either one of these disks here, and we would still have all the data. However, if we lost both of these disks on one side, or both of these disks on the other side, then we're going to lose all of our data. So the important thing to remember about RAID 10 and RAID 0+1 is they don't use parity. There is no parity involved with this. So it's just striping and mirroring working together. So so RAID 10 is a stripe of mirrors, whereas RAID 0+1 is mirrors of stripes. But in both cases, there's no parity used. RAID 6 uses not only one, but two parities for every stripe. I don't have a RAID 6 imagery in front of me. And the other thing in your question you got to be careful about, like in your question, where'd the question go? Where'd it go? Okay, here we go, Chuck. So RAID 6 and RAID 10 both have 4 drives. RAID 10 pretty much requires 4 drives to work. You cannot do things like, for example, you can't use 6 drives, or if you can, it's not in a way that I've ever seen done. RAID 6 uses listen carefully, a minimum of 4 drives. And it's very common to see lots more than 4 drives in a RAID 6 array. So RAID 6, by creating 2 parities, I'm going to have to do this with my hands. We got one stripe, then another stripe, and then another parity, then another parity. So you basically have 4 pieces of data that collectively, we only need 2 of those to define what that piece of data is. So with RAID 6, you can lose 2 drives. Now, it doesn't matter which of those, we'll say minimum of 4. You could have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 drives on RAID 6. It doesn't matter which ones you lose. You can lose up to 2 of them and you're always fine. Remember that with RAID 10, you have to be a little bit more careful. Let me bring that back up. With RAID 10, you have to sit there and go, okay, so I can lose one of these drives on either side, but I cannot lose both. Hopefully that helped. So we'll see what happened. So Chuck, this is one of these situations where if you don't like my answer, just ask more questions. Never a problem. So Xerxes is talking about something called LoRaWAN. I'm going to look that up real quick. LoRaWAN, a low power wide area network or low power wide area network. Low power network. Strange phrasing. I'm just reading Wikipedia. Designed to allow long-range communications of a low bit rate among things such as sensors. So it's a wireless standard. So what makes it good? Long distance, low bit rate. 0.3 kilobits up to 50 kilobits per channel. What I'm most curious about is what frequency is it going to be running on. My little quickie article here on Wikipedia doesn't say much of it. Don't know anything about it. Looks interesting. A lot of proprietary stuff underneath it. So my speculation is that this LoRaWAN is more of a bandwidth thing than a signaling protocol. My quick guess. .802.15. What is 802.15? PAN networks. Ooh. This is a potential replacement for like Bluetooth or something like that, but for long distances. Sounds interesting. Guys, I'm swamped by new technologies every day, and until I actually see some in the wild, I tend to ignore them. Doesn't make me right. I've certainly had to find myself scrambling to catch up on things from time to time, but it looks cool. Derek R. What's the most important section of 220-1001 that I must know for A+ cert? Derek, CompTIA does a very good job of spreading out questions to match the objectives. So there is no answer to your question because it doesn't work like that. The things I would tell you to do would be more like be calm, read questions carefully, know how to take multiple choice exams, that type of stuff. Eat a good breakfast. I know people laugh, but man, eating a good breakfast is really important. And the number one reason people fail CompTIA exams is test anxiety. The number two reason people fail CompTIA exams is they know too much. And only number three is that they don't know enough. So reduce text anxiety. That would be the big thing. But there is no one or two or three topics I could say, cover these three. They're the most important, because they're not. Everything's very equal. Chuck Japley, thanks. Passed. Core 1, Core 2 next. Excellent, excellent. Xerxix, 915 megahertz. That's pretty low. 777E, may I ask you a question? Yeah, just start typing. Koi's Kapau, hello, the algorithm sent me. Welcome. Glad to have you, Knowles. All right, so I'll tell you what. Looks like we might have a slower day, which is good. Again, my goal is to be here to help you guys pass your CompTIA exams, and so how long or short we go is completely up to you guys and the questions you'd like to ask. So what I'd like to do, I would kind of like to do one more question, except what I'm thinking might be fun this time is. I like Security Plus questions. I'm going to do another Security Plus question. So what we're going to do this time is you have to be somebody who's just logged in today for the first time. So all you new folks, 77E and Noise, and there's a lot of other people in here, Knowles, Noise. This competition is for you. So you guys ready? Here's what you're going to do. I'm going to put up a multiple choice question, and you're going to answer it. Whoever answers it first wins 90 days of access to Mike Meyers practice questions. That easy. even though they're multiple choice questions, I don't want you to type in A, B, C, or D as an answer. You have to type out enough of the answer. I'm scrambling to find a question while I'm talking. I want you to find enough of an answer so I'll know what you're talking about. But do not type A, B, C, or D. All right, this is only for total noobs. All right, here we go. You guys ready? You just type the right answer into the chat window. First one wins. Okay. Which of the following is the process of marking a photo or other type of media with geographical location information using the GPS of a mobile device? Remote management, geolocation, geofencing, geotagging. Oh, that one's easy. Too easy. Way too easy. David. All right, I am pretty sure the answer here is going to be geotagging. Let's select geotagging, check the assistance window, answer explanation. D is correct. Geotagging is the practice of marking media files, such as pictures, videos, with relevant information, such as GPS. Outstanding. Geofencing is the function of, like, for example, with credit cards, and you live in Houston, Texas, and suddenly your credit card's being used in Minneapolis, and you get a phone call from the credit card company. Geolocation is finding something, and then remote management is just remote management. All right, so geotagging is the winner. What do we got? Who do we got as the winner here? Geotagging. David Mohan put RIP. Nope. It's OSPF, Dave, but good check. Nitin Baines. Okay, Nitin, you're not totally completely new. However, Nitin, haven't seen you for a while, so we're going to let you go in there. Okay, folks, congratulations to Nitin Baines. Nitin, in order to claim your prize, you need to send an email to Kathy Y. That's Kathy with a K. KATHYY at totalsem.com. Nitin, be sure to put your YouTube name. So I want to see NITINBAINS in that email, and then which practice exam you want to have. And congratulations to you, sir. Now, if you're not a winner, especially you new folks, do keep in mind that we have amazing deals. So we have specials on, right now our specials are on combinations of ebooks and practice questions. Now, in order for anybody needs to pass, we'll get it out, who needs to pass a IT exam, not just CompTIA, but anybody's, I feel that you should have a book, you should have a video, and you should have practice questions. Those three pieces together are what I've discovered in my almost 30 years of doing this, the secret that gets people to pass. So these bundles that we're doing today are going to include an ebook and practice questions. So, and this is 50% off. So 50% off ebook, total tester bundles. Total tester is what we call our practice questions. So that applies to A+, Net+, Security+, CYSA, Pen Test, and AWS SAA. Wow. Okay, that's a lot of different stuff in there. So in order to take advantage of this 50% off deal, which basically means you get a free book, nice, just go to www.totalsem.com. That's our website. www.totalsem.com. Head over to the merchant area, pick yourself up a ebook and the matching total tester exams. So if you're going for the A+ ebook, make sure you get the A+ total tester. Network Plus, Net Plus total tester. You get the idea. And just make sure those two things are in your cart. And then just before you sign out, type in the special code 090621. That's it. And all of these instructions are already in the chat window. You can double check me right there. And you get 50% off. It's ridiculous. It's very inexpensive. My books are the cheapest books out there, including the garbage books. Mine's cheaper than those. And my practice questions are very good. So these are amazing deals, and you definitely need to take advantage of those. And that's not a 90-day access, folks. That's it's like a forever access. How much more difficult is Security Plus over Net Plus? Well, the problem with Security Plus, especially if you've been using my training materials, A Plus and Network Plus have a nice narrative. You know, you can start like with the A Plus, we start with CPUs and build out from there. With Net Plus, we kind of start basically with like the OSI model and build out from there. So there's a narrative, there's a story to it that makes it easier. Security Plus doesn't have that at all. Security Plus is about, in my opinion, 20 to 30 different topics of stuff. I tell people, I go, imagine a round table, okay? And the table's white. And this table represents all the knowledge that is IT security. So then go get a pepper shaker and pinch out some pepper and then throw the pepper over the white table. And those tiny little specks, that's about what the coverage of Security Plus is. Now, CompTIA, even though it's very broad, to me, Security Plus is almost more like a survey of what the hell IT security means. And for that reason, it's very good. Because so many people come in, they're like, oh, IT security, I'm going to be a pen tester. Pen testing is a tiny part of all that we do. But the Security Plus does a pretty good job of giving you an idea of the breadth of what IT security means. So, is the Security Plus harder? Yes. Is the topics that challenging? No. In fact, I would say the topics are actually probably easier than Network Plus. It's just that they don't have a narrative, and that can be challenging sometimes. The other thing in Security Plus pretty much assumes that you have Network Plus knowledge. Network Plus doesn't necessarily assume you have A Plus knowledge, but the Security Plus does. And, if you don't know your protocols pretty well, you're going to find challenges in Security Plus. Knowles Kapow. Well, Knowles, if you don't have any questions, that's fine. Keep in mind, I'm on every Monday and Wednesday at 2 o'clock Central Daylight Time here in Houston, Texas. And so Knowles, always don't ever be afraid to ask questions in here. Also keep in mind, if you're, I'm not saying you're a shy type person, Knowles, but sometimes people are a little unsure about their questions. So another option you can have if you want is you can send me an email directly. Send me an email to michaelm@totalsem.com and put your question in there. And I'll probably read it out loud, but I won't name names. Time for my obligatory yawn. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, just send it directly to me, michaelm@totalsem.com. If you're a gamer, I am Senor Pepe. And otherwise, I'm Desweds, Desweds. If you don't know what Desweds means, try typing it, because you go Desweds. It's a kinetic acronym, and I've had it for a long time. And I never have to worry about anybody else being Desweds at anything. Aaron Harding, what do I think of Windows 11? I think Windows 11 is a nice new little interface change that hardly deserves being called a new version of Windows. It has some interesting hardware issues in terms of TPM and completely ignoring first-generation Zen CPUs, APUs, whatever you want to call them. And that's all we know so far. Other than that, I'm like, where's the beef? Nice thing about Windows 11 is that if you're in the industry, updating operating systems is always an opportunity for us to make money, because there'll be lots of problems with it that we come in and provide support for. Vish Ultem, how do I compare to Professor Messer? He's about 4 inches taller than me and much less attractive. How do you compare yourself to the other golfers, Ty? Height. It looks like 77E is asking questions, but 777E, it looks like people are helping you out. So 77E, One of the things you might be aware of is that we have a Discord channel. Well, we don't have a Discord channel. My friend Jose Braden has a Discord channel. I'll have the guys, can you guys post the information for the Discord channel? Even if you already posted it, please post it again. So 777E, the nice thing about the Discord channel is there's lots of good text in there. Good folks who know their stuff and can be very, very helpful. I'm on there usually about every other time. Dave Rush, Scott Jernigan. So, but honestly, you guys don't even need me anymore. It's starting to get a life of its own. It's doing really well. And but that Discord channel, 777E, if you're studying for a CompTIA cert, you should be on this Discord channel. It's only $500 a month. No, I'm kidding. It's completely free, but check it out. Zam, Mike is live during my lunches. Incredible. Hey, man, that's where you got it. Well, Zam, if you're at lunch, that means you're probably on the west coast of the United States. Wish they all could be California girls. All right, 77E, you are covered. Brandon Classbill, what are you eating? Crow. Oh, he wasn't asking me. McDonald's. Oh, I got to tell you, man. I know I'm a beast. I'm a fat guy, but every now and then there is a place for a Big Mac in my life. I will admit it. Angel Davalos. Any good free resources for CompTIA Labs for both A+? Labs are always a challenge for me. The problem with labs is that I don't know what kind of equipment you have. And because of the introductory nature of A+, making labs that people just do on their own is very challenging. Now, we have instructor materials. We have instructor books that we sell to like schools, and those come with lab manuals. But those lab manuals are designed to have a teacher or somebody who can kind of help you. You know what I mean? But labs themselves can always be a challenge. What I would recommend you do instead of that is, A, you can try making your own labs, or B, come in here and ask questions, I can say, Mike, give me a lab for DHCP. I can whip one of those up, usually off the top of my head, and we can try it on your own as you'd like. But Angel, do keep in mind, we've already given away 2 sets of practice tests here today. That's all I'm going to give away today. But this is also a good place to come for giveaways. Remember, that's always 2 o'clock Central Daylight Time till 3 o'clock Central Daylight Time, Monday and Wednesday. And then on top of that, in fact, Angel, this might be something you'd be very interested in, is that on Fridays, Dave Rush has his Dave Rush AMA, DRAMA drama. And what Dave specializes in, Dave works for me, and what Dave does a really good job at is he's a big believer in Raspberry Pis as a learning tool. They're dirt cheap. You can buy them by the dozen. And Dave has come up with lots of labs. I don't like to say the word labs, experiences that you can watch. You want to learn about DHCP or DNS or, gosh, just about anything, Samba. Dave's got a video for you using Raspberry Pis. And I like that. I like that for a couple of reasons. Number one, because Raspberry Pis are so cheap. For $35 up to $50 for a fancy one, you got a fully working system. But then secondarily, I think a lot of us, myself included, get way too hooked on Windows as a first experience for a lot of different types of protocols, and going to a Linux like a Raspberry Pi, I think, is a very, very good idea. Yeah, Aaron, I was unimpressed with Windows 11. We'll see what happens. Jason, what's Crow like? It's a little, a little chewy. Brandon Classbill, yeah, what the heck is Crow? Guys, get on Google and look up the term eating crow. It's a phrase. It's a thing. Geez, Scott Jernigan, these guys are so young. Derek R. Is Linux only good for programmers? No. Would a network admin need to learn Linux? Yes. The thing when you say a network admin, the thing you got to remember is that Windows networks thrive in two big areas. Number one, in corporate America as a primary workstation for the rank and file. And then number two, as a source of single sign-on. There's nothing can beat Windows Active Directory and single sign-on capabilities, domain creation. Here in Houston, we have huge data farms filled with Linux boxes. But usually in these data farms, somewhere or another, there's going to be a couple of Windows servers that support logging in. That's all they do. So you can have a bunch of Linux boxes that will log into a Windows domain, and it just is a wonderful convenience. And nobody, in my opinion, has got anywhere near what Windows can do in terms of single sign-on. There is no other operating system that has the domain concept like Windows does. But that's the thing. So as an administrator, most of the time when we talk about administration, we're talking about Windows networks, mainly because we're dealing with, passwords, new users, onloading, offloading, basic security, updating, malware, anti-malware, that kind of stuff, issuing of systems, those types of things. These tend to be Windows systems. Linux boxes are not something you see on desktops very often. When I use a Linux box, like here in my house, I've got a home theater system, which is running on a Raspberry Pi Linux system. So it has a specific function. It is the home theater box, which is amazing because it replaced like a $2,500 box. I also have a anti-ad tool called Pi-hole, which is another Raspberry Pi I've got laying around. But again, that little Raspberry Pi only runs this one piece of software. So when I think of Linux systems, I tend not to think about them administratively because they're usually installed for a very specific job. I want to do this with a Linux box. If people want a generic desktop, they're going to go, 90% of them go to Windows and 10% of them go to Macs. But for specific jobs, nothing's going to beat Linux. The thing, though, is that how much administration do you do to a box that nobody's walking up to every day? And that can kind of make a bit of a mental challenge. I would say most people who want to talk about generic, what I perceive as network administration, probably should concentrate on Windows and Mac to be comfortable with those operating systems. You most certainly should also understand Linux, but not necessarily because it's going to be administered, but because it's just going to be out there. Cool, Zam. I was just reading at 2:57. We got just a couple minutes left here. We're going to have to wrap it up. Brandon Classville. Sorry, guys. It should be a good thing the young person is here at last. No, young people are welcome. I love you, kid. Brandon, you don't know this, but I just had my 60th birthday. How crazy is that? It's like ancient. Like I remember when I was a little kid, like 10 years old, and I was like, how old am I going to be in the year 2000? And I remember doing the calculation, and I was like, oh my gosh, in the year 2000, I'm going to be 38 years old. And I was thinking to myself as a little kid, like 10 years old, 38 is like so ancient that it's not even, now I'm 60. To be 38 one more time with what I know now. Okay, guys, we're about to wrap up, so if you got any questions, you need to throw them in right now, please. Bill, what would be the least cost for a Kali Linux laptop? Well, first of all, if all you're going to be doing is a Kali Linux for your laptop, the only thing you really have to worry about is, well, A, make sure it has an RJ45 because you're going to be using this for pen testing. get a laptop that has an RJ45 on it so you can plug in. I don't like using USB to RJ45 adapters. They never seem to work very well. The other thing, and this is a big one, is make sure that you have a chipset, a wireless chipset that will work with Kali Linux. Not all wireless hacking tools work with just any network card, okay? So you've got to make sure you have one that works. The Kali website goes through all of this stuff in great detail. And it used to be like there was only 2 or 3 chips. Today it's a lot better. However, that's really important. So I wouldn't worry about cost nearly as much as I would be worried about having a laptop that has a physical RJ45 so I can plug stuff into it, and B, a wireless chipset that is known to work with Kali. And again, go to the Kali website. They list them all out there for you, and use that as a tool. I have seen very inexpensive Android laptops that fulfill those criteria just fine. I don't need much firepower. There's very little, in my opinion, in Kali Linux that needs much in the way of RAM or storage or CPU processing. So you could actually use an older machine, and you would probably be very, very happy with the results. Henry Bruzo. Hey, Henry, how's it going, man? Bill is 55. I feel a little better. Thanks, Henry. Bill, 55. Aaron Harding. I run Kali Linux on a laptop that is over 10 years old. Oh, my goodness. All right, guys. It looks like we're already running past 3 o'clock, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. I don't know if I can make it on the Discord, but some of us will be on that Discord channel today for sure. Do keep in mind, folks, that the Discord channel is an opportunity to light up your camera and bring your microphone and say hi to everybody. It's always fun to see a pretty face that I connect to, whoever might be on right now, unless you're Tolowit, not a pretty face. But it's a great group. We do have the listing on there, and I really should check out that Discord chat. I've been really happy with the way it's turning out, and it's really a lot to do with guys like Tolowit, Andrew Hutz, Andre, Jake. Zach. I'm going to forget people and make them sad because I'm not mentioning enough names. But it's a great resource, and especially if you're studying, you can't beat it. It's absolutely fantastic. All right, so guys, I am out of here. I will be back on this Wednesday. Hopefully I'll have some new t-shirts. Finally, took over a month to get them, but I have some t-shirts I'm looking forward to showing you guys. This was all initiated by my friend David Mohan, who became the first person to break the bank at the Mike's AMA. David was answering so many questions on so many competitions right every time. I'm still not sure why you wanted so many, but you got them. That David actually made me go, I have to call Uncle. He's broken the bank. So I've got David a shirt coming, and I'm very excited. I can't wait to show this to you guys because we'll start giving out these t-shirts as a kind of a fun prize as well. All right, so anyway, I think that's about all we got here today. Hope we see you guys this Wednesday. Until then, this is Mike Meyers saying bye-bye. We'll see you guys later. Bye.